There is a lot of success when researchers work together with local citizen projects. My name is Christopher and I'm a part of PACA, which is a climate center at SDU.
And my name is Patricia and I'm the PI of the project.
We have looked into a lot of literature that investigates a lot of existing grassroots actors that are environmentally friendly. That's from climate activists to agroecological farmers to repair cafes and lots of small local projects around the world. And then we looked into 30 papers that we narrowed down. So we've done a literature review and we look into what university actors or researchers can do and what they succeed in when they try to help and support and upscale a lot of this action, because grassroots actors are really, really important, but they are very poorly understood at this moment as a collective kind of subject. And it's also very poorly understood how we scale them up. But some of these actors face a lot of barriers as well. And some of these barriers are in a more systematic sense, where it's hard for them to communicate to both the wider public, but also to what we call regime actors. So that can be state actors or legislators or big markets and so on.
So how does somebody who's coming from a grassroots environment talk to a legislator or to a politician? Because usually the innovations that they develop are very radical. And that's exactly what we need for tackling the climate change. Through this literature review, we figured out more about these challenges and also how universities can support these actors. Universities also are interested in supporting changes in society and in supporting innovation. That's why universities can play this role.
There is a lot of success when researchers work together with local citizen projects. We have the resources that many of these local grassroots don't have, and we have access to resources and we have funding overviews and a lot of these things. So these things actually work, and that's super interesting when researchers get out of our little offices and actually start helping impact sustainable change.
I have an example from Switzerland, where I've been part of a project which set up local fabrication laboratories. And one day some makers came into the Fab Lab and they said, look, we have here this beautiful approach to turn the caps of plastic bottles into buttons, but nobody is doing anything with it. And then the researchers were like, yeah, but that's really a good idea. We could use it for education. And then they called in some school teachers and trained them. And now it's in the canton of Lucerne, used to teach the pupils that this plastic has a value and you can turn it into something valuable if you recycle.
What we want to do in PACA is to foster dynamic knowledges that is not just researchers to researchers, but dynamic knowledges that can co-evolve with citizens. There is perhaps a need for actually rethinking the relation between theory and practice, or between research and what goes on outside of the university walls. And it's also a very important principle in PACA.